Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Patched.
Welcome back.
Yes, and today we got the model, no it's not. This is the Z100 by, I don't know how to say this. A CTBTBESE. I don't know.
I don't know.
So we were looking on Amazon, we found this gaming mouse, and obviously, does this look familiar to you guys just a little bit?
Should be a familiar feel.
Exactly.
Kind of in the same area.
It's on Amazon and it's for $55, which doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna make a knockoff product, you should make it a little bit cheaper than the original, right? And I was pretty curious because, you know, it is the same exact shape, and I love the shape of the Model O. It kind of got its shape from like the FK2, and I love the FK2 shape very much. So I wanted to see if it was better, you know, or maybe just like the same, because
you think, you know, for $55 and they're going off to the Model O, they must have pulled out all the stops here. You know, they must have done something crazy with it.
So if you guys want to get it, we'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the shape. And the shape, like I said, is the exact same as the Model O. It's incredible.
Length, width, everything.
Yes.
So it's identical.
So for palm grip, for fingertip, it's incredible. It's perfect for me. I love it. And you know, just the width is really good too. It's not as wide as the Viper Ultimate, which is why I like the Model O shape or the FK2 shape a little bit better. And the Viper Ultimate's like just a little bit like flatter, I would say, where the arch is. But you guys already know it's a very, very familiar shape, and you love it too, right?
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good shape. I personally don't use the Model O because it feels like it's a little too low profile for me. But it's familiar. It's a good shape. It's tried and true. You know.
All right, moving on to the buttons. The buttons are not that bad. I would say this is pretty much the same as the Model O.
They're a little bit mushy, very loud.
Yes.
They're louder, but then you get into issues like durability with the buttons, where there's a lot of wobble. I mean, this thing moves up and down the sides,
Like the Model O.
And that you could pretty much do. Yeah, it inherited that trait from the original Model O for sure.
I feel like that has something to do with the shape instead of like, you know, just like the plastic or whatever, because there's really nothing like guarding it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the clicks are pretty much identical to the Model O, and it's like not as mushy as Razer's switches, but not as tactile as I would like, comparing it to like the, you know, G-Wolf's Skull or the Hottie or the Ultralight 2, you know? So they're not bad buttons, but the side buttons are so trash.
They're horrible.
They're so bad. I've never experienced like a button that has so much pre-travel and post-travel. Like the click is nice.
Dude, the post-travel goes inside the mouse. You can push the button inside the mouse.
Exactly. Like the click is nice though. Like if you click it, like it sounds nice. It's pretty crisp and all that. But just like the post and
once you
pre-travel,
get to the click.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, I guess if you want like a button that you're never gonna like accidentally press, then it's a good button. But it's too much. It's too much. The scroll wheel it's not that good. I mean, if you want like a smooth scroll wheel, then it's pretty good.
Yeah,
but
it's smooth, not very tactile. I mean, the bumps on there, you don't really notice them that much. But it's RGB, so you know, that's important.
Exactly. Yeah. There is a DPI button on top, and it goes all the way up to 12,000 DPI, which I've never like seen someone use 12,000 DPI. Like, how high do you need to go, right?
You can game on all 4 of your 8K monitors now.
and then the cord's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely a very tight weave. So I mean, we appreciate this, you know. It's paracord. It didn't really move around a whole lot. It is a little bit stiffer than most paracord, but you know.
Yeah, it's better than rubber. You know what I'm saying? And they're calling it an ultra weave, so cool, I guess, right?
Alright.
And then let's move on to the skates. The skates are absolute trash, and I thought it was gonna be one of those, you know, where you first get it and it's like kind of scratchy.
Yeah, it felt like it was still being broken in the whole time.
But it's just not.
It never got worn in.
And they lie to you. It says it's pure PTFE. There's no way it is.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way. It doesn't slide around like PTFE. It
like feels like
nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, it feels really, really bad. Like scratchy. It's just, it didn't break in the scratch. You know, we use it a lot, and you can see the wear on the actual skates, but it's still like not fast. You know, so they're lying to you about PTFE.
And we've tried it on every material. It's been hard pads, soft pads, you name it. We've tried it. It doesn't. The skates just don't feel good at all.
Moving on to the sensor, they're saying they're using a 3360 gaming grade sensor in there, but Lucas noticed it being very, very like it has a lot of latency.
It felt very unresponsive because I was using it for about I want to say like 2 to 3 hours in one long session. And then I just wanted to see how it would feel compared to, let's say, my Viper Mini. I believe that was the one that I took, and I just sort of moved it around for like a half second, and I moved my hand back to the other one, and I could immediately feel a difference.
You think they're lying about the 3360? Because 3360, we don't really notice the difference, because they're using that in a lot of like gaming sensors, like the Model O or whatever, right?
That's pretty much the industry standard.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are going for 3389s or their own proprietary sensors, but 3360 is pretty much the standard.
And of course, you can change the liftoff distance here, which is kind of what that is. That's what it says, LOD right here on the bottom. And it goes from 2 to 3 millimeters.
Yeah, so the pulling rate is going to be 1,000 on this mouse. So pretty much standard.
Yeah.
Pretty much standard stuff. As far as build quality, durability goes, that's where things start to get a little iffy. It feels very cheap. Feels cheap.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, like everything's very harsh. You can almost tell just by looking at it that it's like a knockoff. I mean, you can tell by looking at it, but it's just by the material they use, which it doesn't feel horrible in the hand, but it looks cheap and it feels it like over the holes. It's really rough.
The finish is not that bad to me. The finish to me is like pretty similar to the model. You can definitely tell it's not as nice though. But the thing is, like, there's so much button wobble.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, there's a lot more than the model actually. And then you can just tell like the build quality isn't very nice. Let's move on to my favorite part about this mouse, and that is the RGB though.
Yeah, I mean the RGB, it's so you've got an underglow effect on there, and then of course the scroll wheel lights up.
Yes.
Because that's important too. Got to have something on top. But it's nice because a lot of mice, we've talked about this in the past, where your hand just covers the sole logo RGB on the top.
Yeah.
And then there's no point. So this, you've got an underglow effect. Very nice. We appreciate that. We've seen this on the skull before. And we also liked Extrafy's approach to it, where it came sort of around the front of the mouse. So it's a nice approach at it. The lights in there, however, are very low quality.
Yes.
You can see where each individual light is in there, and then you can see them, like if it's on a static setting, you can see it like flickering, like sort of like a cheap sort of light would. But I mean, it's a nice concept. I like where they are. Yes. So I think we're headed in the right direction as far as that goes.
So wrapping things up, I mean, it was like $55, the same exact price as the Model O, and if it was just as good as the Model O or a little bit better, then I would 100% recommend it, because it's a knockoff of the Model O and it's the same price. Like if you're like the owner of this company and you have like some business sense and you're gonna make a knockoff product, why don't you make it the same price as the knock? Oh my god, that doesn't really make any sense. So and it definitely is not just as good or even better than the Model O. It's a lot worse. So can we recommend it? No. The only thing I like about it is the shape. The shape is incredible, but everything else is, I guess the core's not that bad either.
I feel like the main thing with this is the skates. The skates are kind of where everything falls down on a mouse, right? Because if the skates are bad, the entire gliding is bad, your aim's going to be off, everything else is going to be off. Now, of course, there's other factors that go into it, but that really ruins it for me. So if this were like $30, maybe I'd consider it, but I just don't see myself going for anything like this. Now, as we've noticed, the skates on the bottom are even the same as the Model O. So if you wanted to, you could peel your skates off the Model O, put them onto this. Don't know why you would do that, but you have the option to. Or just buy extra skates for it, I guess.
Yeah, but then that's more money, and then you could have just gotten the Model O, right?
Gotten them stocked on the Model O.
Exactly. So hard to recommend, but if you guys do want to get it, good, even though you're not going to be saving any money or anything, then we'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you in the next one.